Hey there, my friends, it's Brad, the Bearded Piper, and I hope you all are having a great day. I just finished watching Paul Gilson's video of me impersonating him. So he's impersonating me, impersonating Paul, and it's actually a really funny video. If you get a chance, go check it out. He's Paul Gilson, aka Paul the Pipe Guy, but his YouTube channel is Paul Gilson. I got a big chuckle out of it. My wife gave it a good chuckle and an eye roll because she knows it's true, right? Because baby, it is cold outside. It's not that cold out today, but it's cold enough. But anyway, I am in the garage. So I have a very special Brad's Bag for you today. Today is March 11th, 2023, which means it's the second Saturday of the month, which means that we had the Pittsburgh, Washington County Pipe Club meeting. And I left with not one, not two, but three things that I need to show you that is in today's episode of Brad's Bag. So the first thing is a couple, I don't know if it was last month or maybe January, John brought a tin of 1997. This is November of 1997 Frog Morton, McClellan Frog Morton, and it's there's still a fair amount left in it. We actually split it amongst a few of us, and I was lucky enough to actually get the tin. So that's awesome because this stuff is fantastic. I had a bowl of this on the way home, and it's wonderful. So John, thank you for that. And the other thing from John as well, when I walked in this morning, you know, I've talked about John many times on here. He is my pipe mentor, and he probably has forgotten more stuff about pipes than I will ever know. But John was talking about a blend that he brought, and he had it sitting on the table in the lounge, and he said it knocked him for a loop. I'm not exactly sure if those were his words, but it was pretty close to something like that. And he said it's there, anybody's welcome to try it, and someone is going to take it home with them, or he is going to leave it there because he's not taking it with him. So it knocked him for a loop. So what is it? It is Sutliff's number 5 Crumble Cake Rustica. Okay, now this is pretty full tin here. I tried it, one of the other guys tried it, and it smells absolutely wonderful. Now John said it knocked him for a loop, and I thought, no, that's probably not good. And I asked, should I try this in a small pipe? And he goes, I'm just telling you, it knocked me on my ass. And I'm like, okay. So instead of getting a small pipe out, I got the pipe I had in my hand was a Boswell pipe, and you know, they're typically pretty big. I loaded it up, and one of the other guys, he loaded up his pipe, and he probably got 2-3 minutes into it, maybe 4 or 5 minutes tops, and he was done. He said the room was spinning and it was making him woozy. And he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay. And then about 5 minutes later, I was done too. This stuff knocked me for a loop. Well, it was getting to the point that it was going to knock me for a loop. This stuff is heavy in the vitamin N. And that's nicotine, if you're not aware. So I decided that I'm going to bring it home, and I'm going to make sure that I'm well hydrated and have a good meal, and I'm going to try it again because it is very tasty, even though it was packed a big wallop of a punch. So I'm going to try it after, like I said, I'm hydrated and well fed. Although if you see the size of me, I'm always well fed. All right, so now let's get into the new one. This is Brad's Bag, episode 7, and what is in here? But this is Sutliff's 5th release. Well, it's the Bird of the Feather series, and there's 6 different blends in the series, although from what I understand, there's talks that there may be more coming down the line. So this one is Anomalous, and I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google and get the definition of what anomalous meant, and it just basically means deviating from the norm. So, yeah, it was really fancy, but I didn't know what it meant. Now, this is going to be released this week, and I was lucky enough to get a couple tins today while I was there. So it is a special crumble cake blend featuring Catarini Perique, an Oriental tobacco grown in Greece. Catarini Perique has a lighter taste than normal Perique, and as an extra gain, it develops a deep raisin fruity taste. The Catarini Perique is blended with red Virginia, a fair amount of Virginia Cavendish, and a bit of high-grade Burley. A blend with lots of Virginia sweetness and a unique taste of raisin, dark fruit coming from the Catarini Perique. Now, I'm not sure if the Catarini Perique packs as big of a nicotine hit as what Louisiana Perique does, but we're going to find out, because let's pop this bad boy open. Now, I've loved every single one of the first 4 blends of this series. So this is number 5. It's being released early. It wasn't supposed to be released for a few months, but this one came out now, and they said that they expect the 6th and final one as of now. They did say, like I said, they did say that there's could possibly be more in May. So keep your eyes open for this, because I think it's going to be online on the 15th. Oh, wow. That is sweet. That is grassy. It smells like a very sweet hay to me. Oh my gosh. It's got a bit of a bready. Oh, no. It is 100% I get hay out of this. I just spread some straw out in the yard to try to absorb some of the water out of the mud that the dogs run through. And boy, this really, oh no, this is the most hay smell of any blend I've ever had. Ever. Like, this actually smells just like a bale of hay to me. So, and that's what she looks like. Now, these are, if they follow suit, yes, they are nice, big, thick flakes. I just can't get over, like, how much that smells like hay. Like, that is absolutely incredible. So one of the guys today had a tin of Bengal slices. It was his first time to have Bengal slices, and he got it out and he saw these big thick flakes, and he said he wasn't sure what to do with them. And I'm like, you just break them up and crumble them up. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to break this thing up, crumble it up, and I am going to put this into one of the funky pipes that came out of the bag of funky pipes that I cleaned up. And this pipe is pretty cool. And Vintage Pipe Nightmare Silvo said something about it in one of the videos, that it was a pretty interesting looking Stanwell. And the reason it's an interesting looking Stanwell is because, and I'm going to have to pop the glasses off to see this, it is from the 2007 Chicago Pipe Show. So this is a Stanwell. This is one of the funky pipes that is from the 2007 Chicago Pipe Show, and I believe it was one of the pipes that was made for the slow smoke competition. And I was lucky enough to get this. Again, it was one of the pipes from Bill's estate that came in that bag of funky pipes. I cleaned it up, and it is a wonderful performer, but it was not smoked. It was brand new, and I was lucky enough to get this and clean it up and be able to be the first person to try to do a slow smoke with it since 2007, which is what it was made for. So I hope that made sense. I felt like I was rambling as I'm packing my pipe here. And I packed this thing way too tight because I was talking too much. So, wow. I think I got some in the stem. That happens sometimes, so you just run a pipe cleaner through it. There we go. Occasionally I will do that. I'll be, like I've shown in the past, how I don't really do any specific method. I just put some in, tamp it down, put some in, tamp it down. I use my finger to tamp it. So every so often I'll put too much in, or I'll tamp too hard, or whatnot. So, all right, let's get a first light of this. Oh, I did get something else. Rick is a Zippo guy, but he uses the Thunderbird butane inserts, and he brought me a regular standard, well, it's not a standard, it's a Zippo fuel pipe insert that he's not using anymore. So, and some Zippo fluid, and I was very grateful for that. Okay, right on the light. This is gonna be a long video. It's sweet. It is very sweet. It is surprisingly, for as much as it smells like a bale of hay, right out of the gate, it's not very grassy or hay-like. It is very, very sweet. No, I shouldn't say very, very sweet. There's a little bit of a spice there. It has that dark fruit sweetness to it. Yeah, it has that dark fruit sweetness to it. Kind of plummy. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the slight notes that are the topping that's on University Flake, but it doesn't have that heavy burly taste that University Flake does. It's more plum to me than it is raisin, and I can't remember what the tin said. Let me flip this over and look. I got a giant mess on the table right now. It says raisin fruity taste, so I'm getting a dark fruit taste to it. So that makes sense, I mean, with the raisin part of it there. It is good. So let me work and enjoy a little bit of this, and I will be... Folks, I am back. Normally, I like to come back about halfway through the bowl and let you know what I think. But unfortunately, I got tied up into writing a letter that I needed to write. And it was very important, and I kept going, and I kept saying, okay, I need to write some stuff down and make a couple, jot down the little notes. And before I knew it, I'm pretty much done with the bowl. So let me tell you what I experienced with the Anomalous as I went through. Now, shortly after I turned the camera off after first light, I started to get a little bit of that grassy note that you get from Virginias. And I mean a little bit, not much whatsoever. And that quickly dissipated within the next 5 minutes. So 10 minutes into it, I didn't have that grassiness that I normally get from something, say, a... Orlick Golden Slices. I get a lot of hay, grassy notes from the Orlick Golden Slices, so much to the point that my mind plays tricks on me sometimes, and I think I get a hay fever sinus headache. So, but anyway, that's a completely different story. It was a little spicy. I could feel a little bit on the tip of my tongue, but as I progressed through, and that has to be the Catarrhini Perique, and as I progressed through, the spiciness kind of tamed itself out. By the time I got halfway through the bowl, that spiciness wasn't gone, but it was way in the back. It wasn't prevalent, and that tingle that I had on the tip of my tongue went away. It stayed sweet the whole way through. It didn't change. That sweetness never changed at all. And again, I'm going to say that is largely in part to the Virginias and the Virginia Cavendish. I think it's an Virginia Cavendish. Although for you, it's just a few seconds since I spoke about it before. But for me, it's been about an hour. And a fair amount of Virginia Cavendish. I'm assuming that's where the sweetness really comes from. But that Catarrhini Perique definitely gives it kind of a dark fruit of a sweetness to it, which I kind of equate to plums, but it's not really a plummy taste as you go through. At first it was, but as I went through, it wasn't really a plummy taste. It burns cool the whole way through, no tongue bite whatsoever. So It was sweet the whole way through, a little bit plummy at the beginning, but that kind of dissipated through as it went, but it stayed sweet. More on a... I can't even describe it. It's not even a, like a lot of times with Virginias, I get like a sweetbread flavor. I guess flavor is the right word. A sweetbread. I didn't get that with this. It really wasn't a sweetbread. It was just sweet, and it was very pleasant, and it was very appealing, and I really, really enjoyed it, which makes me very glad that I picked up more than one tin. I think this stuff's going to age really well, and I'm again... This Birds of a Feather series, for me, has just been knocked out of the park, every single one of them. I really liked Uno. That was a really, really good one. Whimsical was okay. Then I think it was Aberrant was pretty good. Eccentric is pretty good, but I think this Anomalous at this point would be my favorite. I was expecting there to be a big kick of nicotine at the end or somewhere through here because of the burley that's added to it, and I feel like Porky Pig here because I'm going to change the word because I can't say equivalate. I just did. No, is that right? Equivalate? See, why do I do this? I do this all the time. I associate Perique with very high vitamin N. I associate Perique with a lot of nicotine because I attempted to enjoy a bowl of Louisiana Perique one time, and boy, I tell you what, straight Louisiana Perique, and that was a whole lot that hit me like boom right out of the gate. I mean, I don't think I had that pipe lit for 5 minutes, man. That thing was knocked me out. But that's what I associate the Perique with. But being that this is a Caterini Perique, which Caterini is an Oriental tobacco grown in Greece, it says so on the back of this tin, because it's that Caterini, that Oriental tobacco, that's probably where some of the sweetness is coming to as well. I have a tendency to get some sourness out of some Orientals, but I didn't get that out of this. And towards the end, I'm starting to get a little bit more of that grassy note, but not a whole lot. After now that I haven't been puffing on it for a while, I'm getting a little bit of a grassy taste in my mouth. So there you have it. Sutliff's Anomalous. Sutliff Anomalous is very good. I really like it. I don't give thumbs up or anything like that, and I probably should. I need to come up with something. What would be good for me? Maybe beard hairs? No, that would be bad. Everybody knows that I'm really involved with the dogs and, you know, taking them to dog shows and things like that. Maybe it's wolves. Maybe I need to give it 5 out of 5 wolves, because this stuff is really good, and I would buy it on a regular basis. This could easily be an all-day blend for me. So there you have it. I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stuck around to the end. Not everybody does. I hope you did. And if you did, remember, life is good, but it's better with a pipe.